Deep in the rugged mountains of Korea grows a ubiquitous wild fern called Gosari. As it breaks through the rocky soil, it pushes outward with a violent, uncoiling force, perfectly adapted to survive in a hostile environment. If you forage this plant and eat it raw, the dense concentration of natural toxins will induce severe illness and can easily be fatal. Yet, Gosari is one of the most beloved and essential staples of traditional Korean cuisine. Ancient foragers lived surrounded by mountains, completely covered in safe, easily digestible leafy greens. They consciously bypassed those safe calories to harvest a poisonous weed. What is the logic in spending days neutralizing a dangerous poison when you could simply pick something safe to eat? Young children arrive in the world operating on a very similar frequency. They are chaotic, entirely driven by impulse, and aggressively self-centered. Modern society treats a child's temper tantrums and erratic outbursts the exact same way we view a poisonous plant. We look at that friction, label it a biological defect, and immediately try to suppress it. The ancestors observed this through a different lens. That wild, disruptive behavior is a dense, unrefined reservoir of pure survival energy waiting to be processed. To make Gosari safe for human consumption, you must boil it at high temperatures. Then you must soak it in cold water for days. Finally, you lay it out to bake under the harsh sun. It is a grueling, highly repetitive mechanical loop. Once the loop is complete, the toxins are entirely neutralized. The remaining plant is so incredibly dense in nutrients and deep, earthy flavor that historical texts refer to it as the beef of the mountains. In human development, the early, difficult years serve this exact same function. We call this the golden age of parenting. The golden age is a brief, critical window where a child's raw impulses are highly malleable and ready for processing. Inside a traditional dojang, a Korean martial arts training hall, the physical structure mimics the boiling and soaking of the fern. The precise bowing, the strict routines, and the physical exhaustion systematically pull the selfishness out of the student. The discipline of the mat is designed to carefully extract the immense drive buried underneath all that chaotic noise. We call this mind muscle, the psychological endurance developed by compressing erratic impulses into structured routine. Repeating these tasks expands frustration tolerance, shedding extreme ego. This reveals the original self, the innate cooperative baseline emerging once pure self-interest is removed. A child operating from their original self possesses the mental endurance to pause, assess their surroundings, and make intentional choices rather than lashing out. The ancestors required this refined, nutrient-dense fern for a specific macro purpose. Gosari is the foundational ingredient in ukgaejang. Ukgaejang is a heavy, spicy beef stew, engineered explicitly to be cooked in massive volumes to feed an entire village. Village mothers spent hours standing over these massive iron cauldrons, enduring the intense heat and physical exhaustion to guarantee enough calories for every family. Biological instinct drives a hungry creature to feed itself first. These women actively resisted their own biology, choosing the fatigue of the fire so they could ladle out portions to their neighbors before eating a single bite. Boiling that soup was a calculated survival mechanism. The communal labor forced a harsh environment to yield enough energy to sustain a deeply interconnected society. This approach to shared survival is rooted in the concept of a life union. A life union is the practical understanding that your individual safety and prosperity are permanently bound to the physical health of the people living around you. You survive a brutal winter or rebuild a washed-out road because 50 people are sweating in the dirt together, prioritizing the group's physical needs over their immediate personal comfort. A modern martial arts educator operates with the exact same objective as the ancestral mother at the cauldron. We put children through a grueling physical process so they learn how to use their strength to elevate the people next to them. We take the raw, chaotic energy of youth and methodically refine it. By doing so, we honor ancient survival wisdom and forge the empathetic leaders our modern village requires to thrive.